Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 20th of January 2023. We've got the shopping trip in London tomorrow. It's the Truth Be Told Big V Victim Awareness Month, and that is going to be outside the BBC Portland Place in London at 1 p.m. start time. Your nearest tube station is Oxford Circus, and it's just a short walk up the road from there. And I believe the plan of action is going to be a few speakers. Whether it's going to be at the starting point by the BBC or somewhere else, I don't know, but there's going to be a few speakers, and they include Matt Le Tissier, the footballer who's been speaking out on our behalf, and I think I saw Dr. Peter McCulloch. Don't hold me to that, but I think he's going to be one of the speakers, although whether he'll be there in person or just on the screen, I don't know. And then there's a few other well-known people like that as well, and also some big V victims who will be telling their stories, including the lady who I met up in London last Saturday. She's going to be there as well, so I'll be seeing her again, which will be good. And then I believe we're going to have a short walk in silence down to Downing Street, and then we're going to make our displeasure known to the government by throwing hopefully about a zillion white flowers into Downing Street. I think that's the plan of action. So if you come in, bring a white flower, a white rose, or at least a white flower. So that is the plan of action there. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way, and I've got a development about our event on the 4th of March, but I'll tell you about that at the end. And just a couple of observations really in the meantime. Today I went into one of my suppliers. It's a place I don't go to very often. If you don't know what I do for my day job, I'm basically an electrician, stroke property maintenance, and I go to these various electrical wholesalers, and then other people like places like Tool Station, Screwfix, and a few other bits and bobs. And this one place, I haven't been in there for quite a long time, probably sort of 3 or 4 months, and throughout the whole nonsense they had one of those horrible great perspex screens up in front of their till area, and it was a bit of a pain because they didn't even have to have a hole to put your money through, which is ridiculous. You had to kind of hand it around the side sort of thing, defeating the whole object of the screen, I'd have thought. But I'm pleased to say when I went in there today, that was gone and the counter was just totally back to normal. And then another observation I'd like to make is, up until the nonsense started, if I was going round to someone's house to, quote a job, and it was a bloke who was answering the door, very often they'd hold their hand out to shake your hand, sort of typical kind of business greeting kind of thing, I guess. And I'd shake their hand, and then as soon as the nonsense started, and I've been lucky enough to be able to still go around and work throughout pretty much the whole period, apart from just the initial few weeks. But apart from that, I have been getting out and about people's houses and working, so I'm sort of grateful for that. But nobody would shake your hand at all, and apart from maybe the very, very, very occasional person who either wasn't that bothered or who kind of forgot, but it just hasn't happened for all of this time, near enough 3 years. But it's starting to come back, I'm pleased to say. Just literally over the last few weeks, and particularly over this last week, I've noticed more and more sort of guys doing it, and I've probably shook about the hands of probably about 3 or 4 people during the course of this week. So that is a positive sign, I would say. Don't know what you want to make of it, whether that kind of signals that the public's mind, the whole thing's well and truly over or what, but I just thought I'd share that little bit of information with you. So I'm just going to come back to the other event I was talking about. I have talked about this, I think it's either yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I put a video up about it. But this 4th of March event in Milton Keynes, obviously I'm going to be there. Marty from the Marty Bucko channel is going to be there. Lee from Veritas Vincit's going to be there. And we're going to have Mark Devlin there. And thanks to a viewer, this isn't down to me at all, but a viewer who has kindly sort of helped me out on this, we've got John O'Looney coming as well, the funeral director. Actually, he's from Milton Keynes, so it's pretty much a no-brainer for him to come along, I suppose, but he's going to be there. He's been very outspoken, about what he thinks is going on with the whole nonsense and everything that goes along with it. So I'm delighted to say he's going to be there as well. Things are starting to book up really nicely now, but there are still spaces left. So if you are interested, it's very, very inexpensive. And it is a little bit of money on the actual events, well under £20 to attend. But I know people have to get to the place. They've got that bit of expenditure. And if you're coming down from quite a long way, you've got, other expenses that you might have to incur as well. But I'll explain this if you email me, but if you were sort of thinking, you know what, I would really, really love to come to this event, but I just really can't afford it. Yeah, I could afford the entrance money, but I can't afford, all the train fares and everything else. Thanks to a very, very generous viewer called D, there is a little bit of sort of money in the pot to help with train fares and petrol and that sort of thing. Which you'll get a little bit of reimbursement, maybe sort of £20 worth of reimbursement on the day. If you turn up, there's a bit of money to reimburse you. So it might make things a little bit less expensive for you to attend. I'll explain more about it if you email me, but please be respectful of this lovely lady D. It is only intended for people who genuinely can't afford it. Make sure that you are genuine when you ask for this little bit of help. But like I say, if you're interested in that, email me and I'll fill you in a bit more detail. And if you want to book a place, again, email me at tim@fairplaynow.net. That's the email address, or you can also get to me, fairplaynow.net/contact, and I'll send you all the details. But with that, I'll leave it and see you tomorrow if you're going to London. Tim from Fairplay Now, thanks for watching.